And of course, one of the benefits of putting these things in writing is that there's no guessing about what would mom have wanted. Hey everyone, Nick Nielsen, Certified Financial Planner. I just got off the phone with the mom of one of my clients. Mom had recently relocated from Florida to the Charlotte area. The daughter had reached out and just asked if I would have a conversation with mom, make sure that all of her ducks were in a row. So at the beginning of the conversation, it was very apparent that mom's number one priority is just making sure that her children are taken care of. She doesn't want to be a burden to her children. She wants to make sure that at her passing, that everything just kind of goes smoothly. And she'd asked some questions, whether she needed a trust. And I wanted to share some of the things that came out of that conversation because I think it could probably be very applicable to you and maybe the conversations that you're having with your parents. So in her situation, most of her assets were either in her bank checking and savings account or in her retirement accounts. And this is a lady who has less than $1 million. There's nothing complex. And neither of her children have any special needs. There's no spending issues. There's no addiction issues. So to me, going down the path of having a trust didn't make sense. So a couple of our takeaways is that her bank accounts were in her name only. So we recommended that she go to the bank and add on her children as beneficiaries. Now, her children aren't going to have access to her bank account during her lifetime. They can't call the bank and ask how much money does mom have in her checking account. But what happens is at mom's passing, her children would go in with a death certificate and essentially the money would pass directly to the children and it wouldn't go through the probate process. The next thing that came out of the conversation is that mom did not have any of her estate planning documents completed. Even though leaving a legacy and passing assets were critically important to her, she hadn't taken the next step to actually getting those estate planning documents completed. We talked about having power of attorneys for both healthcare and financial needs, and that those power of attorneys could be separate people. You might have one child or a friend who's better equipped to deal with the healthcare issues. You might have another child who's more capable of handling financial issues. They don't have to be the same person. You can direct different people. And of course, one of the benefits of putting these things in writing is that there's no guessing about what would mom have wanted? What would mom have wanted to have happen in this situation or that situation? These documents are going to spell out what you want, and there's no guessing. And third and finally, we want to make sure she had multiple retirement accounts. She actually had 3 401ks. It seems to make a lot of sense just to consolidate all of those 401ks into a single 401k with her current employer. Ultimately, when her mom does go upstairs, having the children deal with one 401k provider or potentially one IRA provider in the future is a lot less headache and legwork than trying to go to multiple 401k providers to do beneficiary IRAs or liquidate those accounts. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you found that insightful. If you or someone you care about could use the advice of a financial planner, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe.